Let's talk about the GCC. The 2024 US election won't just affect America. It will shape key relations in the Middle East, particularly with the GCC. Today, we're exploring how this election could impact trade, energy, and security in the Gulf region. For decades, the US and the Gulf Cooperation Council countries such as Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman have shared strategic partnerships from oil and energy security to military cooperation. The GCC plays a key role in the US foreign policy in the Middle East. But in 2024, the future of this relationship could be shaped by who wins the US elections. Today, we'll break down how the US election could impact key issues like energy security and regional stability in the GCC. What do you think is the most important issue between the US and the GCC? Energy security, military cooperation, or something else? Let us know. Let's talk about energy security. The Gulf region is a major player in global oil production, and for years the US has depended on the GCC for energy stability. But in recent years, things have started to change. With the US increasing its own oil production and pursuing renewable energy, the dynamics of this relationship are shifting. Biden's administration has pushed for greater investment in clean energy, while also trying to maintain relationships with key oil-producing countries in the Gulf. On the other hand, if Trump returns to office, we could see a return to more traditional oil diplomacy with a focus on maintaining strong ties with the GCC for energy security. For the GCC, the 2024 election will determine whether the US continues to rely on Gulf oil or if the focus shifts to renewable energy partnerships. How do you think the US election will impact oil and energy security in the Gulf? Will the US continue to depend on GCC oil, or will renewable energy take over? Now let's talk about the military cooperation and regional security. Another key pillar of the US-GCC relationship is military cooperation. The US maintains military bases throughout the Gulf region, supporting security in one of the world's most volatile areas. The US also provides advanced military technology to GCC nations, ensuring their defense capabilities remain strong. Biden's approach to the Gulf has been one of diplomacy and maintaining military support to ensure regional stability, particularly with ongoing tensions with Iran. Trump, on the other hand, has emphasized a more transactional approach, tying US military presence and support to economic deals or burden-sharing agreements. For the GCC, the US election will determine whether military cooperation remains strong or if the US shifts its focus elsewhere, potentially leaving Gulf nations to increase their own defense spending. Now, while elections can shake up global politics, your financial future doesn't have to be uncertain. With Stake, you can invest in UAE real estate starting with as little as $500. It's a great way to diversify your portfolio and build wealth in one of the world's fastest growing real estate markets. Stake makes it easy to invest in Dubai's booming real estate sector, offering you passive income and long-term growth opportunities. Click the link in the description to get started with 200 UAE dirhams attached to your wallet. How do you think the US-GCC military cooperation will change after the elections? Let's talk about the regional stability and the Iran question. The regional stability is always a priority in US-GCC relations, and nowhere is that more evident than in the ongoing tensions with Iran. For decades, the US and its Gulf allies have worked together to counter Iran's influence in the region, whether through military cooperation, sanctions, diplomatic pressure, or Cold War strategies. Biden has worked to re-enter negotiations on the Iran nuclear deal, seeking a diplomatic resolution that would reduce Iran's nuclear capabilities and stabilize the region. But if Trump returns to office, we could see a return to a more aggressive stance towards Iran, leading to further tensions and possible conflict escalation. The outcome of the US election could determine whether the Gulf remains stable through the diplomacy or whether the Gulf will face heightened tensions within its regional rivals. The US election has a ripple effect far beyond its borders, and the GCC is just one of the regions impacted. For the next few weeks, we'll be covering how the US election will shape the future of Africa, Asia, and the Americas. You can find those videos linked right here, so stick around for more deep dives. The 2024 US elections will have a profound impact on the Gulf region, from energy security to military cooperation and regional stability. What happens in November will shape the future of US-GCC relations for years to come. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into how global events are shaping the future. Thank you and have a good one.